Deer skulls. I know a few people for whom this is your aesthetic. You know who you are. Hey Shapeshifters, Eli here at the end of another beautiful Vermont winter day. Time to start another off-the-rack sale. For those of you who weren't around for the last one or who don't remember how this goes, here it is. You get to take your measurements at home and look at our size chart. Once you've figured out what size you are according to our system, which is based on inch measurements, then you go through the videos, find the size that you want to buy, and I will show you what we have in stock in each and every size. These are going to be broken up into a few videos for convenience. Here we go. First thing, take your measurements. You're going to need a chest measurement, which is around the widest part of your chest. Breathe in, write that down. Slide down tape measure under chest. Breathe in, write that down. And a length will also be useful. You're going to take the measuring tape there at the top of your shoulder and bring it down over the front of your chest to wherever you really want a binder to end. And for me, I like a crop top. I like it to end right about here. Some people want it to cover their belly. Some people want it to cover their hips. We have on the rack a few long ones. They will mostly be short ones, and I will be marking their lengths as I go. If you've got your measurements, take a minute, take a look at the size chart, pause the video here, find the size that you are or the nearest equivalent. These sizes are pretty finely graded, so if you find your closest one, you're probably going to get there. All right. Now, let's start. This is a Retro Galaxy size 5. Length is 16, and this is number 1. Retro Galaxy is always a fun one. It's this black and white space pattern with lightning across it for some reason. Who knows? Because sci-fi. Because vintage sci-fi, I guess. Number 2 here is Inner Senshi. It's got a back zipper. This is the back of it. Number 2. And the length is 20, so this is a mid-length. Inner Senshi is fun because it's got this space print that also has a floral overlay. Ta-da! Here's number 3. It's a 5 1/4 size, solid black, length 16. Some of these are discounted because they are try-on binders. What that means is that their size is marked on their tag, and once upon a time when we used to go to events, this would have gone around to events with us, and someone looking for their right size may have tried it on. We have laundered them all thoroughly and a lot, but that one's probably been laundered more strictly than a new binder would be, so we discounted it. Number 4 is also an Inner Senshi. No zipper on this one. Length 14. Number 5 is a mesh binder in Mahogany Mesh. It's one of our darker meshes that we haven't been able to get back in stock. So this is one of the last of its kind until we can find it again. Mahogany Mesh, which will make it nice and breathable. Size 5 1/2, length 16 inches. 16 inches is on the long side of a crop top. Number 6 is another solid black, also 16 inches. This one's also a try-on. It's got that size marking on it, which means it's a little discounted. All of the prices will be in the store listing, and you will be able to see them when you go to purchase. Number 7 is called Unicorn Barf. It's a size 5 3/4, length 13 inches. So good solid crop top. Unicorn Barf is what some folks on YouTube would call pink hollow, because it's got that mirror gleam where all of the little dots reflect a rainbow. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. Number 8, also size 5 3/4. This one is a Cosmos, which is to say a space print with a whole lot of colors of the rainbow in it. The length of this is 16 inches. All of these have been crop tops so far, of varying degrees. For reference, 16 inches on me goes down a little bit further than I generally like for a binder, but a lot of folks like it at that length, I've noticed. This one is also a try-on binder, though the ones that are Cosmoses, I'm not sure anyone ever got to try them on before we stopped going to events. Still, try-on binder, discounted, number 8, the Cosmos. And now we're into size 6. This is a size 6 inner Senshi, length 13 inches. This one's got a fun, cool thing where there's just flowers sort of sprouting up from the bottom of it and all up the center back. The person who does our layouts does a really thoughtful job. Number 10, Cosmos. Another try-on binder that may never have been tried on. Size 6, length 16. Number 10, length 16 inches. One of the things about doing videos like this is that I tend to get myself mixed up saying a lot of numbers. So if you think I made a mistake, I probably did. Check me on it. Number 11 is Unicorn Barf, size 6, with racerback, length 16. Racerbacks are nice. They can do really good for folks who need something a little easier to wrestle your way into, which, I don't know about you, but I often do. Having this sort of cutout to get your arms through it can help a lot. Number 12 is the black mesh, size 6 with narrow straps. It's mesh only, so even though there's 2 layers of mesh in the back, it's still pretty lightweight, pretty breathable. Your length is 15 inches long, and it's got narrow straps, which can be nice if you're trying not to let it show under a tank top, say. Number 13 is a 6 1/4 Cosmos try-on. So that's number 13. 16 inches long. Size 6 1/4. Number 14 is a fancy black binder, and it's fancy because it has both a racerback and a side zipper. So there's 2 different customizations on this, which will make it pretty easy to take on and off. It is 14 inches long. All of our zippers have a clasp at the top of it, which means that the zipper itself will not pop open during the day, because there's a little hook and eye right there to close it. Number 15, black mesh. Also size 6 1/4, 13 inches long. This one has low arms. The armholes are lower, so for folks that get chafing under your arms, a low arm option is really good. And it has a front zipper, which if you have trouble twisting and turning, a front zipper can be easier than a side zipper to get into. And that's the last of the size 6 1/4s. Number 16, blue mesh, size 6 1/2. The only customization is that there's narrow straps. The length of it is 14 inches. That's number 16. I recently got word from our blue mesh supplier that they're out, so we're gonna have to sell out of this. A sad but true fact of fabric supply. It just happens. That was the only size 6 1/2, by the way. Here we have a size 6 3/4. It's a sky blue binder, 14 inches long, and this is number 17. This binder has a mesh back. So the fashion fabric is only on the front, and on the back there's 2 layers of white mesh, and it's very breathable. It's very good in the summer, anytime when you want something a little more lightweight. Number 18 is an old fabric which has long since run out of supply, so this might be the last of its kind. Kaleidoscope. Size 6 3/4, 14 inches long. I love the way this got laid out in the front, so there's this wonderful optical illusion going on. Number 19, again with the out of stock meshes. Everything that's out of stock, by the way, everything that we can't sell again, we've discounted. Because it's time to say goodbye because we are not sure when we will be able to supply this again. It is Yew Mesh, Y-E-W, Mesh, 17 inches long. It's our good, soft, nice feeling, pale skin tone mesh. So of course it couldn't last. Someday we'll get it back in. That was size 6 3/4. Next, also size 6 3/4, this is Laurel, a nice rich brown. I would say it is a medium warm brown, 16 inches long, number 20 is what this one is. And it's a try-on binder. So again, may have been worn in the past, has been thoroughly laundered, and some of those try-on binders needed a little bit of repair work. That's all done. This one didn't. I'm not sure if it was ever actually tried on. Some of these binders we were like, start of 2020, let's make new try-on binders for the new year. And then events in 2020 turned out not to be a thing. Oh well, off they go. This is Laurel, is the name of the brown. And I'm really hoping even in this light you can get a sense of what kind of brown it is. At the end of these videos, I will show off the skin tone color card to help folks who are looking at varying skin tones to decide what might be closest. It's always tricky because colors get picked up weird on a video and then they get picked up weird by YouTube. It's always a trick. But hopefully by saying this is a medium to dark, warm toned brown, I'm hoping that will help someone. Here's number 21. We have come into size 7. This is the first size 7. It is 16 inches long, and the pattern is deer skulls. I know a few people for whom this is your aesthetic. You know who you are. If this is your aesthetic, if you want freaking dramatic deer skulls crowned in roses with weird geometric stuff happening all over and around them, if that's your jam, you know it, and it's your jam. I can think of, God, 4 Tumblr usernames and 3 real-life friends who just, if you are a size 7 in Shapeshifters sizing, get at this. Next size 7, number 22, is this beautiful bright sunflowers. It is 18 inches long. Bright and cheerful, and this is the first one on the rack that has a stiff insert in it. I'm gonna see if I can show you it because it's embedded in between layers of fabric, but when I hold on to the bottom of that stiff insert, it's stiff all the way up those 8 inches. And that is an 8-inch wide panel of woven elastic, which will stretch enough to help you get it on, but then will hold and do a firm band of binding all the way across. All my binders have stiff inserts now. I really appreciate it. It's really useful for those of us who need a little more smoothing out. So if you are a size 7 on Shapeshifters, and we have on our size chart a little gray band to show you if you might need a stiff insert, you fall in that gray band, then you might want to try this one. On the size chart it reads as a 7S for stiff insert. Number 23, black size 7 try-on binder. It's black. It's simple. It has a little lint on it because everything does in a sewing studio. Number 24 is the first 7 1/4, and it's also a black try-on binder. We're just selling these off. We have no idea when events will happen again, and it's time to put these binders in the hands of people who need them. So, 16-inch long, 7 1/4, black try-on binder. Ooh, this is a fun one. 7 1/4 Number 25, 15 inches long. This print we're calling Vintage Wildflowers. It has a front zipper. It's got a racer back cut, so it will be pretty easy to get on and off. And it's just, for a custom print that has a black background, it's so bright and cheerful. And I love prints that do that, that can just have a good strong saturation and bring a mood in. That's number 25. And again, these numberings are so you can find them on the listing really easily. The store listings are split up in the same way that the videos are split up by blocks of sizes, and you'll be able to just scroll down and select number 25 when they go live. Number 26, calling it Blood Cells at Work. It's a size 7.5, length 15. That's the back. That's the front. Number 27. This is a mesh back Cryptid binder. And by Cryptid, I mean that's the name that we gave our black hollow scales. The length of this is 15 inches. It's got a front zipper, a black hollow scale, and it's tapered in a little bit, which means that the bottom is slightly tighter in than the top. Tapering in is an option that I would say maybe 10 to 20% of our customers choose. I think it helps some people with the way their torsos are shaped and the way the rib cages go to have the binder shaped so that it comes in at the under chest and below. Other people can find it really uncomfortable, so if you find that you don't like things cinching your lower rib cage, tapering in is not for you. As with so many things that we do, it's all about what works for you personally and what you think might work. Experiment, try it out. Your body is not my body, is not anyone else's. Yeah. Number 28 is an outer Senshi binder. Length is 14 inches. The size is 7 3/4. Outer Senshi has the same print as inner Senshi in that it is this beautiful galaxy print with floral overlay. We're just calling it outer because it's got that deep blue, green, purple palette of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Point is, flowers, space, pretty colors. A print that we will never get in again. And I miss it already. Last chance at this, if you are a size 7 3/4. Number 29 on the rack is a Cosmos Try-On binder in size 7 3/4. Length 16 inches. There's the front. There's the back. And that is everything up to a size 7 3/4 on the rack. So that's from size 5 to size 7 3/4. Gonna start with size 8 in a bit, but first I'm gonna take a break. See you soon.